Welcome back, everybody. Let's say hello to our friend, Mr. John Baptiste. John, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, 2021. We in full effect. How you feeling this year?
I'm feeling good. I'm not feeling as good as you look in that hat, though. Well, tell me about that hat. What's the story?
Oh, my goodness. I got this in North Africa, Tunisia, actually. It's a kufi hat. I love it. And Thelonious Monk used to wear these when he would play.
I love it.
And I saw the authentic one, and I had to get it.
Now, you're from the South. I'm from the South. Is there a New Year's tradition down in Kenner, where you grew up? Do you guys eat anything on New Year's Day for good luck?
Woo! Come on now. Yeah, we eat black-eyed beans, and cabbage and rice and pork chop. And you know, it's always good.
We do the same thing. Evie makes it every year. We got to eat it for luck. Do you call it anything? Because we call it Hoppin' John.
Oh wow! Where does that come from?
I don't know. I don't know where it comes from, but where's it come from, darling?
I don't know.
She doesn't know either. It's always been called Hoppin' John, and it's you cook bacon or back fat if you got it, and onions, and you throw that in with the rice and the beans, and it's so good.
Yeah, we've been eating that since New Year's Day. The leftovers is kicking, man. It's rolling.
Today too. Anyway. John, you got a song for the new year?
Yes, indeed. Let's see.
John Baptiste, everybody. Thank you, John.
You got it, you know.
Joining me tonight is the woman who delivered Georgia to Joe Biden through her organization, Fair Fight, and who hopes to make history with tomorrow's Senate election. Please welcome back to A Late Show, Stacey Abrams. Ms. Abrams, thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you for having me again.
Happy Election Eve. Nice to see you again. We haven't seen you since right after the election. I want to talk about the election tomorrow of, obviously, Raphael Warnock and Ossoff, who are running tomorrow. But I want to talk about this tape that was released over the weekend with the president pressuring Raffensperger to find votes in Georgia that would give the win to the president. Your name comes up a couple of times in that. Have you heard the recording?
I did indeed listen.
The president says that Stacey is laughing at you to Raffensperger. She's laughing at you. Could you characterize the laugh? Is it a giggle, or is it more of like a with like the fly hands and everything? How are you laughing at them?
I think it's a bit of an overstatement to assume I'm thinking about them. I'm focusing on winning this election.
Boom.
They are not my issue.
Boom. Okay. So, but just very quickly, what do you think of the president putting the pressure on Raffensperger? Were you shocked to hear that, or is that just par for the course?
Not at all. I mean, this is a person who has demonstrated absolutely no, grasp of the, augustness of his office or the contours of the law. But I will say that lionizing Brad Raffensperger is a bit wrong-headed. This man is not defending the right of voters. He's defending an election that he ran. Because at the exact same moment that he is pushing back on Trump, he's also working hand in hand with Republicans to put together a list of ways to constrain access to the right to vote starting with the next election. And so I don't want people to be distracted by his attempt to not become a laughingstock based on what happened to him in June. We shouldn't mistake that for him suddenly becoming a voting rights champion. He is not. But, even a broken clock is right twice a day, and it's a good thing that he's defending this election because the election result is the right result.
Do you find it strange, or is it hard for you to accept that you and Donald Trump agree about anything? Because evidently both of you don't think that Brian Kemp should be the governor of Georgia.
Again, broken clocks and occasional correctness. Mm-hmm. I try not to think about that too closely because I don't want to have to re-examine my life's goals and mission.
Now, when it comes to the current Secretary of State, Raffensperger, down in Georgia, as you said, don't lionize him, this is more sort of butt covering for him right now. This behavior is how I'm characterizing you characterize it, and you can stop me from doing that if you want. But since he is the guy in charge of the elections down there right now, what will you be looking for him to do, or what should we keep our eye on as the votes are counted from tomorrow's election?
Well, first we need to make certain that the process works smoothly. Sadly, because of the propaganda and the misinformation, we are concerned about election workers. We want them to be safe. We want them to be able to do their jobs. And hopefully he is going to work as hard as the rest of us are to make certain that they have access to the support they need. But we know that it's going to take time to count these ballots. We've had more than 3.2 million people cast ballots already. And those numbers reflect an excitement about this election that has never been seen in a runoff. We just need to be patient, and we need to know that we may not have the answer until Wednesday or Thursday. Hopefully we'll have it before, next November. But we should have an answer pretty quickly, but we should be patient with the process.
That 3.2 million people who voted early in Georgia, how does that compare to the turnout during the general election?
So the general election had a total turnout of about 5 million people. And it is an unusual thing for a runoff election to come anywhere close. The last record turnout was 2.1 million people, and that was in 2008. So we have smashed those records. And what's even more exciting is that of those millions who voted, 112,000 are people who did not vote in November but decided to vote in this election. 40% of them are African American, and African Americans only comprise about 30% of the registered voters. But 20% are under the age of 29. They're 18 to 29, and they're only 12% of the electorate. That means people understand what's at stake and they want to be heard.
Now, in November, you told me that the Senate runoff strategy was, quote, to raise all the money we can as fast as we can. How did that go?
Yes. It went really well. We were pretty good at it. There's a lot of investment, and I've
By
never
really
seen
good
anything
at
like
it,
this
I
before.
understand that it's $100 million, over $100 million for each of the two Democratic candidates.
Yes, and my organization, Fair Fight, was able to raise enough money that we were able to share more than $25 million with other organizations to make certain that they had the resources they needed to support turning out voters.
You think that's? How are you feeling about tomorrow's election? What do you think the odds are?
If I knew odds making, I'd be in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, I do politics instead. But here's what I would say: we have seen incredible turnout from Democrats across the state. We have seen a diverse electorate, the likes of which we haven't seen in a runoff, and we're energized. I was at the Biden rally today, and the energy is extraordinary. But I was also in small counties around the state. People want COVID relief. They want good jobs. They want access to justice, and they want Joe Biden to have a partner, not an obstructionist. And that means that they need Kamala Harris to be not only the president of the Senate, but the tie-breaking vote, so that we can get the things we need in this next term. And I think we're ready to get it done. I'd put my money on blue.
We have to take a quick break, but when we come back, I will ask Ms. Abrams if she has any plans to run for office again, perhaps in Georgia, perhaps governor, in 2 years. Stick around.